Hi friends, Happy New Year. I wanted to get on here today and just share a few things that have been on my heart, where this year is going, some words that the Lord has given me for this year, and just kind of time to just catch up and share something special with you all. So last year, when we were headed to Uganda, I can't believe it's been a year. It's definitely been bittersweet, reminiscing on all of that and the year that we've had and our family there has had, ups and downs, but the Lord has been so faithful. And when I was on the plane last year, the Lord impressed on my heart the word behold. And at first I thought I had a different name actually for the ministry that we're trying to build there. And the Lord just really impressed this on my heart. So much that I saw the word literally coming alive. And I kept getting this vision of the Lord just holding us and all of our family there in his hands and just loving on us and just really lifting them up. So from that point on, when we got back from Uganda, we had hit a lot of roadblocks. And just to make a long story short, the government basically shut down the CBO and NGO website because of the up and coming elections and some fraudulent activity that they discovered, I guess. After a few long months in prayer, lots of prayer, a new name that the Lord had revealed to me after that trip, we were successful in one of the only two CBOs listed in the year 2025 in the whole country of Uganda. So that was a huge hurdle that we had to overcome. And we passed the inspection. That was a long couple weeks, but the Lord is faithful, and we are so thankful that his plan was completed in that sense. And a few months ago, the Lord really started impressing on me. If you saw my last video that I shared, he's been showing me a lot about trees and just the cycle of life and the dormant season that we're in now. It's winter, but when we start to come alive in not just a physical sense, but a spiritual sense, and how he's really shown me to not let my faith go dormant, although the last couple months have been really stressful with just different situations with our Uganda family and another situation. And he started to show me the word surrender. And when he started to paint the picture of surrender to me, it came at such a confirming way, in multiple directions, all in the same week. And a lot of the time I was taken back by how the Lord was truly working and showing me surrender in some of the hardest times of my life. The hardest times of my life with everything that had been happening in Uganda with our family and my dear brother Joseph, who is also from Mozambique. And God has just been so faithful, and I'm crying because of just his faithfulness. And when I felt like I was in a season of doubt and drought, basically, the Lord was faithful and answered big, bold prayers. And he's still continuing to do that for a future that seems a little bit unclear and cloudy right now, with some of the things that we've been struggling with. Sorry. But anyways, I wanted to get in here and just share something that I felt really called to share, but just really understanding how God has brought me personally through a season recently, and how he has really nurtured and watered my flower bed and my tree, and has helped me to bloom again, to come out of, this state of hibernation that I would probably call it, in my faith and my walk right now. But something that has never happened is that I have lost my faith. My faith has grown stronger through this season, and I'm still praying how to surrender everything to the Lord, and where he wants me to go with some things. And it's been such a beautiful thing, but he wanted me to share how if I never surrendered, my business to follow God's heart for his orphans and widows and his families that I've been reaching, if I never surrendered my faith, if I never surrendered all of the idols that I was struggling with to follow that call in my life, I would have never met these beautiful people. I would have never built these relationships. I would have never had this change of heart. These walls would have stayed up, and the Lord has just done such a beautiful work in me that he's taken these walls down that he never intended to be built. And so I just want to encourage you, everyone that's listening, what would your life look like if you surrendered to the Lord's calling? It's definitely a question to ask ourselves in our faith, whether we're grounded in our faith for years, our life, or we're new to our faith. I ask that your prayer would be to the Lord. What would your life look like if you surrendered? Because I can guarantee that God is faithful and that he will do such a beautiful and amazing work with his plan for your life if you take the quiet time to just listen to what he has for you. The other thing I wanted to share was a few months ago, I came across a TikTok of a guy named Basil Romantko, and he's from the UK, and he's actually a homeless guy, a rather young homeless guy, and he has a beautiful gift of poetry, and I've just been captivated by his poetry. And I've been following his story and praying for him and just encouraging him with everybody else. He's done some amazing things just this last year. But what's encouraging about Basil is, although he could take himself and remove himself from his situation, he chooses to stay homeless because it encourages him to keep grinding, to keep producing poems and being creative, and it helps him to just focus, and he's truly trusting God. His faith is incredible. Just this short amount of time is encouraging to me and many of his viewers. This is just one of the books that I own from him, and I just started reading it, but I'm already so blown away just by his words. His poetry is so artistic and beautiful. It literally paints a picture that captivates your heart in those deep, deep crevices that not many writings that I've discovered can actually reach the way that I've learned to love his poetry. But anyways, every purchase that he sends out, he writes a personal letter. No two letters are the same. Just the fact that he can do that is incredible. I mean, he's sold probably almost 900 books alone, and these were mostly released just last year. But I felt encouraged to share this letter that he included with my purchase, because I feel like it ties into everything that the Lord has impressed on my heart to share with you all. And I know that it's going to be shared and encourage so many more of you. So just listen, and I hope that these words are exactly what you needed to hear today. It says, "Hello, Valerie. There is a tree near where I live. Its growth, you can tell, has been mocked by time. Something, maybe the soil, maybe the wind, maybe life itself, refused to let it grow fully into what it was meant to be. And yet the tree stands through the seasons. The tree stands and takes it all in. The laughter of passerbys, the dirt thrown at its roots, the curses muttered in passing, the whispered plans of those who believe it would be better gone. And still the tree stays. I remember that winter when death felt near for the tree, even when the bark looked weary, when I truly thought she wouldn't make it. But somehow, by some extraordinary grace, she bloomed again in the summer, and no one clapped for her. Now this is it. That tree does not compare. It does not ask why its limbs are not as long, why its leaves do not stretch as wide, why the others around it seem taller or stronger or more loved. It simply surrenders to its becoming, to the smallness and vastness of its existence. In standing here by the window, watching her sway with the wind, I begin to understand maybe we too must surrender. Not to weakness, but to the truth of who we are, whether in joy or silence, in faith or doubt, in love or the ache of losing it. Maybe all of it, every last piece of it, is part of our becoming. The phone rings. It's a friend. The last time we spoke, he said he was bone tired of trying to live in a world that won't love him back. Maybe this is for him too. Maybe he needs to hear about the tree. Maybe we all do. Love, Basil." I hope that this word encouraged you. I know that this letter will live on actually in my new office that I've been putting together on a wall that is dedicated to very important and special things to me in my ministries, in my life. Just things that I've been collecting and that have made its way in. But I hope that this word encourages you, that in this season, whatever season you may be in, that you would seek the Lord and that he would show you that you are just where you maybe are meant to be, but what your life could look like if you do surrender to him. So thank you for listening, friends, and I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye.